Sorry guys, my main microphone is not like registering on my computer right now. Give me 1 second. I mean it shouldn't be terrible audio quality like this, but obviously a little weird how it won't I want to get the Yeti to work. That's a little oh, here we go. Okay, it looks like we are back in business on our Yeti. So that's good. Anyway, guys, a little late tonight for me. Had a little day trip today. Um, but couldn't wait to show you guys, some of these trades, and we'll see what happens here. Um, so I did take the shouldn't be showing you guys the stop loss. I did take the ETH short the other day. I've been trading with more money than I have in a while, but it's bear market. Your boy may or may not have. Well, I told you guys. I mean, your boy may have taken some profits, and what does your boy do when he has some long-term positions that he took some big profits on? Puts them into leverage trading. Don't do that. Terrible idea. Terrible idea. Charlie, it's not. It's not. You got to know what you're doing, obviously, and I mean, it's not. I didn't put everything that I made in crypto into a leverage trading account. So yeah, drinking some Japanese coffee. Anyway, let's see here. Okay, let's look at the chat. Always appreciate you guys smashing the like button. What's up, Carlton? What is up, Nico? Oh, it's been a minute. We'll look at some of these coins, man. I don't want to. I mean, we'll look at some of these in a minute. ICP. I can't believe that looks good right now, but okay. One theory that I know Ben Cowan posted a little bit earlier ago about how QT ends December 1st. That may be the end where I don't know about I don't know if he talked about actual bottom of alts versus Bitcoin, but that may be where where they stop or where they hit some major points against Bitcoin. That could be doable. That would be very interesting if it hits to the day like that or very close to the day. That's what I'm thinking, Sky Knight. Yeah. The thing, why February 16th? Why February 16th? We got some months until then. Anyway, what was I gonna say? This was there. And yeah, I do think the other thing too, we lost the quarterly low. However, sometimes when you lose the quarterly low, you get a jump. So just keep that in mind, or you're just going to hell right here. We don't know. But keep that in mind. Anyway, guys, if you are interested in trading, TapBit. I'm doing a new nice bonus. Deposit $100, get 30. Deposit 200, get 100. If you deposit at least $200 to any of these exchanges, BYDFI, BloFin, and open a support ticket in the Discord with your UID or your email, I'll give you one free month in there. 20% cashback on your fees. 20% cashback as well on your fees and TapBit. Same applies to BYDFI. Nice deposit bonuses, so check them out. TapBit's not bad. Pretty good. No complaints yet. Still been messing around with it. It's one the cool kids use. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so hopefully we do some reversal here, but don't try this at home. That's a risky Bitcoin long. I do think you would see with all the short pressure and stuff a little bit of relief, but I could be a little bit early to the game. Holding 102 is very important for Bitcoin. Like every freaking level, but you know what I mean. 102 is kind of important. So yeah. What's up, Mice? So yeah, the other thing too is, well, let's look at, it's not too often. Well, all right, let's talk about some okay, so there's a lot I want to talk to you guys about today, but I guess the first thing, let's talk about alts just a little bit here. And the first thing that we want to, kind of talk about here is, let's see. Now, if you can get down to that major level, that would be very interesting. And it would also, what would be wild is it would coincide so well with, like that situation, like at the end of October, early November. I think it even was early November this low. You got to really zoom out here. Yeah, like November 1st. That would be very close if you were to hit that within a month or so, maybe December 1st. And then it would be crazy if you were to have altcoin season then, although at that point, who the hell knows? It'd be a pretty wild market, but anything's possible. But yeah, I would say for the short term, like next month, in all likelihood, a lot of alts will continue to bleed kind of against Bitcoin. I don't think ADA would kind of lose that level. I know somebody asked about Internet Computer. Oh yeah, I know what you're okay. This is what's weird, man. You're just getting esoteric alts just jumping. Zcash. You getting esoteric stuff just jumping out of nowhere up, 200% or whatever. And then, so I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, it could be nothing or it could be the start of something big. I don't know. End of QT. I mean, there's a lot of mixed signals in this market. I will tell you that much. So yeah. And I think there's a lot of like that quarter four, before the election year or midterm year, there's a lot of wild stuff going down right now. You think cycles are over? Yeah, well, I mean, I think even if the cycle is over, I think for the first half of probably until now, until like mid 26, in all likelihood, the S&P 500 would continue to outperform Bitcoin. I say continue because it's been outperforming Bitcoin since July. But yeah, liquidity heat map for Bitcoin. I haven't looked at it today. I looked at it the other day, but I don't know. Tell me what does it show? 97 is a big point. It may take time to get there, but yeah, 97 is a big point. Crypto will pump whenever the Fed starts printing. Yeah, but I mean, is the stock market going to drop hard anytime soon? I think it'll drop. I think so. That's the second thing. Let's just talk about TradFi a little bit. Crypto.com, I was hoping for a little bit of a better performance rather than down 1,000,000% from high 67 anyway. What was I going to say here? That area. Polygon, yeah, most of these are not doing much. Yeah, let's actually talk about TradFi for the I said it like 10 times now. We're actually going to do it. So I think you're getting there. I mean, it's October, it's November right now. This could be the point, and that's a pretty harsh, yeah. This could be the point where it's all over, guys. This could be your tax season sell-off starting. Big jumps here. I talked to some smart people. Some of them got out, about 2 weeks or a month ago, probably around a month ago, around here. And yeah, you could say like, oh, they're dumb. They missed out on 4%, but still Nasdaq. But still, I mean, now you're back down. So that could be, especially on this bear div, if that comes to fruition, which I think it might. You're not too far away there. That could be the end of the fun for a while, and then probably similar situation for S&P 500. Now, approaching that area, I want to look at S&P 500 versus triple Q because 2022 obviously S&P 500 outperformed triple Q. SPY outperformed triple Q. Let's look at 2018, a little bit in 2018, and then let's look at 2014 for the hell of it, a little bit in 2014 as well. Overall, I don't know, but it was more of like a sideways situation. The thing too with this is just like, man, it's like if you've been buying just the S&P 500 and not the Nasdaq at all, like a lot of the boomers, man, they'd rather buy like individual stocks or even Bitcoin than mess with the triple Q. Like, no, bro, like look at a chart. But yeah, I mean, that just looks like I think it will see more and more likelihood. You'll probably see something like 2014 or 2018, where S&P 500 has its run against the triple Q. But the thing that I think will outperform probably both of them, and I mean I sound old saying this, man. This is a generation gap here. I mean, some of you guys are probably 18 years old. You don't even know what this is, but it's getting a jump. Berkshire Hathaway against SPY getting a nice jump. I mean, I've talked about it before on this channel, but. And nobody's going to get that rich with this, but you're probably going to be able to keep a lot of your bull market gains. If you had a rather go in crazy high leverage and try to, trade this, or by Berkshire Hathaway, more likely you would probably keep some of your gains for the average person, unless you know what the hell you're doing. I mean, you could prop trading too is cool, but yeah. So I mean, that's that. So it's Berkshire Hathaway versus that. Now, the more important one, I mean, triple Q here. Let's look at some previous, 2022. This was a nice run up against the triple Q. You would have gotten 70% more triple Qs, guys. 70. Imagine you had 1,000 triple Qs or whatever the hell. You'd have had 1,000. You'd have had 1,700 triple Qs, guys. I don't know if it's going to be, I mean, you saw 2018, I mean, we're looking at previous bear market years, midterm election, it probably will only be a little bit. I mean, you could look at, 22 was big. I mean, I don't know. The volatility on this gets more extreme as time kind of goes on. Like the jumps, these jumps get bigger, and this still has outperformed since this low here. And this could be kind of the preliminary situation in some ways. It may jump around and then really outperform in the 2030s. Who knows? But yeah. Oh yeah, BRK. Oh yeah, it gets killed when there's like everything else, man. It does outperform S&P 500, and I mean it dropped 80% against gold in the from 2000 to 2010 about, and it in S&P 500 dropped 90% against gold, I believe, during that same period. So there's that. During higher risk times, Berkshire Hathaway does pretty well generally. What's up, Digital Asset DJ? How's it going? Appreciate you. So there's that situation, and always appreciate you smashing the like button, all that good stuff. Bitcoin dominance here. I mean, yeah. It's proven itself to a certain extent. I mean, you're probably going to keep going up for probably until QT officially ends, December 1st or whatever. Maybe back up to this level, maybe even higher, depending on how this market looks. Who knows? But yeah, there's that situation there. The thing too, let's look at Google. I don't know what to look at Google. Again, all right, some Google versus S&P 500. Or let's just look at Google in general, because Google wants the damn US dollar, and that's coming down there. Bear div forming. I mean, the other thing too is your Palantirs, your AI stuff. I think that's going to look like Robinhood and Coinbase did in 2022 too. These are like history rhymes. Doesn't repeat, it rhymes. This could be the end. Now, you could get another leg up. I have no clue, but this could be the end. And I mean, what were your corrections for some things in 2022? Damn catastrophic. Now, it may not be as bad, but easily could come down a lot. Not saying it will. I have no idea. I mean, I don't make any claim to know what's going to happen, but there's that drop there. Eventually jumping down. And this could. I mean, what seems interesting to me is this level right here. Yeah, that level right there, like 55, which is not even that bad of a correction, really. From your all-time high, it is, but 70% I could see. Maybe even worse, I don't know. Let's look at some of this stuff that got destroyed in 2022 and see how that would fare. Probably pretty bad as well, unfortunately. Well, we'll see what happens the next couple of weeks. Not looking too good right now in this trade, I'll tell you that much. I may be screwed. Anyway, so there's that potential. I mean, everything looks pretty overheated, guys. Look at that 2-way. I mean, this is not a sell signal. I don't know what is. I mean, I guess you could potentially. I mean, the monthly even. I guess you could potentially wing it more, but you know, I mean, I could easily see this going back to like 50, 60 something dollars. I mean, maybe some hope at 80. You know, I mean, I guess it could hold higher. I don't know why this comes to mind, like Lucid for some reason. I have no clue what'll happen with that. Tesla too looks kind of. I mean, yeah, this probably is going to be double top or some situation, maybe a little bit higher to make a new all-time high. I don't know if she's got it in her though. I don't know. Well, then again, like it's not gonna be. It's probably not gonna be like that. 2022 is pretty catastrophic. It could be more like 2018 in some ways. I mean, a lot of 2018 was not too bad here actually, because if you look at it did fall over, kind of sideways, and then I mean maybe half as bad as that 2022, maybe down to 214. It's still pretty bad though. Geez, where did this come down? 75, yeah, wow. I mean, this is one of those where it's generally every time you see, like, I would say, let's look at what this typically corrects. That was 45. That was 56. This was kind of 74. What was this right here? Every time this corrects like 40, I would say, at least 30 to 40 is usually a really good buy. I wonder what happened there. Oh, it was pandemic. Let's see what happened in this. This is 50. Every time, I mean, if you can get 50% off of this, I wouldn't buy it now. But if you can get 50% off of Tesla, like, that's a good deal. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain things where, and I mean, the main technique here for long-term investing, for value investing, let's say, buy the stuff that will very, 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 very likely still be around in 20 years, 20, 30 years. And, well, 50 years ideally, but, 20, 30 years is enough for me. But yeah, I mean, we'll go out of safety drawing codes, yeah. I mean, that could be, when it actually does, that could be a catalyst for, it could be sell the news, you never know. But, yeah. I think the cycle's over. I've been saying the cycle's probably over, yeah. Could save us. Mag 7. Also, well, I mean, I think that stuff is going to, because usually the NASDAQ, especially, S&P 500, TradFi usually foreshadows, or Bitcoin foreshadows what TradFi does later on. So, if you were to look at the Mag 7, and is it this leverage? Oh my God, people are doing 5x on that. God, what the hell does that look like? That's a sell signal and a half right there. Just the fact that exists. Jeez. What's the ticker for Mag 7? I don't even. There's a couple of them, right? I don't know the. Anyway. But nah, I mean, it's overheated, man. It's probably gonna. I mean, it's probably we need more cleansing of the market to a certain extent. What was I gonna say here? Real estate. I do think that may be more of a. You're starting to get a little, maybe more of a safer haven in 2026, but who knows? Cycle and figure out's possible. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens here if we can hold. I mean, we're just trying to hold took out the low, the quarter low. We're trying to hold that. I don't even know if we will. Now, the thing here that's interesting is you don't get it too often. Well, yeah, when it's a weekly trigger waves, they do well until they don't. But here wasn't too bad. You got that one. I mean, when would you get a deeper weekly? Maybe March at the earliest. I mean, 2 week is probably a better indication. That was a red herring, but yeah, mid 22. It kind of looks like. I mean, you could argue without FTX. This was just Tesla selling right here, institutional selling for whatever the hell reason they sold, and then this was more of FTX, I guess, and other things. ETH didn't make a lower low. So it would likely be, I think it's kind of earlier every time that bottoms or big buying opportunities, await. It would likely be, at some of these points, maybe April, the earliest, May. Like I think, you look at probably after quarter two or the end of quarter two, maybe like last time. Here was, if we look at the pattern here, this is January 19. Here was 6 months early. Well, yeah, about 6 months earlier. Um, where was okay? You don't even. I one before that, but I mean, say a couple months earlier. Yeah, kind of those areas. So we'll see. Bitcoin down is dropping. Is that a joke? A little bit, yeah. As things are trying to recover, we'll see if that keeps going. And you might be right there, but yeah. Trying to hold this level on ETH. I don't know if she will, but she might. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. Anyway. But I could see a lot of people starting to panic sell, and just cycle, all those type of things. So it could get kind of violent. What I want to look at here, well, let's just see what people are talking about a little bit. Everything's down. Okay. Dick Cheney died. 84 years old. Push for Iraq war. Pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease, common cause of death. Rest in peace, Dick Cheney. Nintendo. Maybe, how's Pfizer? Speaking of Pfizer, I mean, that hasn't done much. Is it this one even? No, it's this one. Yeah, that hasn't been. Recent low was this year. Yeah, this is completely. It's like the '08. So, yeah. That was, you had your lost decade there. Perfectly lost decade. So far, generally somewhat of a lost decade so far. I would assume. The thing with this is like, it's like they program it where it doesn't do so well because they don't want, the conspiracy theorists to gain power. You know what I mean? But yeah. If it goes under 100K, probably. I mean, but when does that selling stop? Does it stop at 97? Yeah, ICP is jumping. It's weird how random ones are jumping. How's Zcash? I mean, I would assume. I mean, normally these. Let's see here. Yeah. She's still going. Kinda. A little drop. Yeah. I mean, how do you find the top on this? I mean, it's interesting how it moves. I don't know. Maybe the weekly red dot. I don't know. So there's that situation there. If you guys are interested in potentially trading, I do have the Discord with a lot of good insight. We got Nightshade K-Mac in there. A lot of good analysis we put out. In addition to that, if you want one free month in Discord, check out TapBit or BloFin. Claim your bonus. Deposit $200, get 100 here. 20% of your fees for life. TapBit. BloFin. TapBit's the second link. BloFin's the first. Well, the first real link is the Discord, but yeah. and 20% off there. So BitFi as well. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. I wonder, are yields doing anything? Yields are they should be going down a little bit, I would assume. Interesting how there's, yeah, okay, they're going down a little, not much. But I guess that's good. And you would probably, if you do see the S&P 500 and all that, you know, come down, I could see it playing out like this maybe. Yeah, it would take its time, man. You know, it would take its time, but like mid to late 20, look at the 30-year for mortgage rates. Mid to late 2026 is where you would probably see, let's just follow this path. Yeah, I mean, that would be down. What would your mortgage rate would come down 0.5%, 3/4. Your 30-year mortgage 5.5%. I think Trump would probably take the praise. You know, I got housing affordable. I got mortgage rates down at that point, and I really don't see a scenario with real estate continuing to, you know, kind of correct if you do get rates down that low. So yeah, let's see here. Open door. I don't feel like looking at this. What are my thoughts? We'll look at Doge and Chainlink. Blue chip alts, man. Dogecoin. It could jump a little bit here, I think. I definitely think it's doable. We're not doing too well here, though, guys. And, I don't know if the Bitcoin's really showing this. This could be one of those where they get you. So, yeah. Excuse me. Chainlink looks relatively strong versus some of the other cryptos. Yeah, we'll see, man. It could easily go down farther. I could see a rally back there, Skynet. I mean, it's hard to say, man. I mean, but I could see. I mean, 4,000 is not that far away. 112. Yeah, these are not. I mean, the way price generally moves, you probably will see. I mean, we lost the quarterly low. A lot of people probably went short, and this could be the start of the bounce. I mean, this is an exciting time. Definitely is an exciting time in these markets. Yeah, that's the thing too. Good point, BG. I was noticing. I was outside and I saw how full the moon was. And I was noticing, man, we are very close to a full moon. And that could be the exact 100% reason why we bounce here. But no, I mean, it's just one of the many things, you know, that we, you know, could look at. But yeah. This is not good. We're dumping, guys. There's no bueno here. We're dumping. 102 is important to hold, I'll tell you that much. Hey, man. You don't look at the moon. The moon looks at you. It's like with beast mode. You don't find beast mode. Beast mode finds you. Anyway. Institutional buys is dropping for Bitcoin. A little tired right now. Long day, but yeah, I don't know if there's really much else to tell you guys. I mean, I don't know. It's, yeah, we could continue jumping. Yes. That's what I will say. Tau came up. Yeah, that could be done. But man, I mean, if you were in anything other than ETH, it's just kind of unfortunate. But it's weird. Like, I would be very curious to see if you can, redo what you did kind of, for all Bitcoin evaluations at the end of 2017 into 2018. In addition, the last time they ended QT, second half of 2019. Now, keep in mind in 2019, everything dumped. Everything kind of dumped after, but yeah. And I think that, if it's like 2019 into the next cycle, and it could be, it kind of, if people said cycle lengthening, how about cycle shortening theory? How about some cycle shortening? But, what would that look like? You would see a bottom, in, oh man, I don't know. You would probably see a bottom in, I'm trying to do this, 6, 7, 8 months or something. Let's say it's 6, 6 or 7, 8 months. Let's say April, something like that. You'd probably see maybe it's down to 58 or something. So nothing that insanely bad. You saw here. That's kind of, maybe it's this without your black swan or whatever. Maybe it's kind of like that. And it's from that area. And it could be March. Let's say it's March. And then from there, now this is where it gets interesting. From there, I mean, okay, so it's obviously going to be way less insane. That'd be like, if you're thinking that freaking, and this is not impossible. Maybe even, I mean, if you're thinking that 2028 could be your crash year, your really bad year, 20-year anniversary of 08, maybe could look something like that. I mean, I don't know. Dow as a future Dow and Zcash showed incredible strength after time. Sure. I would agree. Moving average on bear. That has to go far to get to bro. That has to go far. Oh, bear market bottom. Okay. I thought you meant like. The thing that's interesting, it's good that you brought that up actually, because the thing that's interesting regarding the EMAs and all that, let's look at the, I got the 50 here, but let's look at the, we have never hit the 400 yet, and we keep going lower like every time with these damn moving averages in the bear markets. If you were to bottom at, say, 45, and I know that's kind of a low number for some, but then it would be kind of that area. Kind of that area. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The question I have, if bull run continues, does S&P 500 continue to outperform Bitcoin? Because it's outperformed Bitcoin for 3 out of the, from July to October, which was 3 months of Bitcoin still making new all-time highs essentially. So, that's what I think. I'm too far away from the mic. My apologies. I'm probably gonna get off in a little bit. I'm just tired, a little tired. Gotta take a shower, go to bed. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Fed could, there's all those type of things. We don't know. There's inflation worries. I don't think you're going to see actual QE just yet. I think that's probably going to be after midterms, but who knows? I think the question here is, can we jump? We just made a lower low for ETH. I don't know about Bitcoin, but yeah. Not the best place, obviously. in some ways. I mean, yeah, 34. The thing too with this is, I mean, okay, you're back to where you were in July. July was crazy. Yeah, that area was nuts. How quickly you recovered. I mean, yeah, but then again, the other issue is you're all the way back to where you were in January of this year, and then where you were in July of 24, and so on and so forth. So yeah. So crypto fear, that's a good question. Let's take a look. Probably some fear, I would guess. Yeah. We're not in extreme fear, but we are in fear. I mean, I don't know. Double bottom on fear there. It could be. I mean, this thing could go, move around, but we'll see. I don't know. I think if we, in the coming days, you may see extreme fear. Although, I mean, okay, this was extreme fear, obviously. I mean, this was probably, what, 30%? Yeah, I mean, I think if you get anywhere, yeah, if you lose 100, you'd probably see extreme fear, I would guess. The problem with that is, like, when you see extreme fear in a bear market, it keeps going lower. When you see extreme fear in a bull market, that's a bottom signal. You know what I mean? That's the difference. So we'll see. So yeah, I'm just thinking here. I like that. I like that human being. People's opportunities. Not always, but a lot of times. I'm not the biggest expert on those, but I don't think Monero's done anything, has it? It's just Zcash that stole the show. Monero's, yeah, it's come up, but it's not, yeah. I mean, you could even argue this bull run would be, yeah, not as good. We'll see. It's come up. I mean, light, let's just look at it. Like, I would just say, it reminds me of the pattern of Litecoin. That's been just so boring. I mean, I guess if you do see a lot of stuff happen, with alts and whatnot, you can see, you can see some movement. I don't know if you're ever going to get back up to 400, but we'll see. Anyway, guys, it's probably better luck if I don't look at this. I think the big thing here is to try to, hold the lows or whatever, hold these areas, and the new retail would sell around the dates, so what happened. Yeah, it's not always, bro. I mean, it gets bearish, like, even, okay, so I think we will pump at some point, but that doesn't mean we're going to pump and make new all-time highs, number one. Number two, you got, yeah. We'll see what happens. The thing too is, like, this is when, like, everyone's been saying the last few months, 4-year cycle dead, 4-year cycle dead. Like, bro, you were saying, like, the problem with that is, like, literally everyone said 4-year cycle was dead at the exact top in the area where the 4-year cycle should peak out. Like, if you want to say 4-year cycle is dead, I mean, why don't you say it at a better, more opportunistic time when it actually does something unusual, like back here, or no, here, new all-time high too early. Factoring inflation, this was not a new all-time high, but still. The death, okay, let's actually put those up. It's 50 weekly, and that's actually a good thing to look at. Let's look at the death cross. That's a good point there, BG. Because I don't look at moving averages as much as I probably should. Okay, so let's see here. That's fine. What is it? 200 moving average. Okay. 50 and 200. Let's actually, let's add in another, yeah, moon phases. Now I gotta add in moving just is it moving average simple? What? I should know this. Is it there? I don't know. And then yeah, that's a problem there. It's not okay. Let's take away the moons, I guess. Simple SMA, simple moving average, right? Yeah, I don't 50. I should know more of this, but yeah, that's probably not the right thing. Thing too is even if the Fourier cycle, like the problem is like everyone gets so much greed when it's so high. You know what I mean? Like everyone wants it to be dead here, but it's like if you just got in when if you just got in when you had some cojones, or when people were actually scared back here, then you would have made enough money to be comfortable selling. You wouldn't have enough greed. Well, you probably still would and still would lose money, but you know what I mean. But yeah. I mean, this is either going to be like one of these or it's going to be worse. Could be worse. It could be more like, because let's see here. There's your high or whatever, October high. That's October low about a year after, yeah. Oh. Nah, I got the wrong stuff up, dude. I got the wrong. Oh, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't have the wrong stuff up. Okay, let's look at death crosses. Yeah, okay. So this death cross was not that bad. That marked the bottom. Golden cross did okay. You're still below that golden cross there from June, but yeah. That was a golden cross. This was a death cross that marked the bottom or whatever. That was a golden cross. That was a death cross. Now, let's test this back. Okay, so golden cross right there. The problem, though, is in your damn bear markets, January 22, your death crosses lead to a lot of crap. You know what I mean? Like, you want to get in, you want to kind of get in on the golden cross after the damn death cross. Like, here's the thing. This one, okay, this one was bottom. Death cross, and then came up a bit, then you had a golden cross. A little bit more, and then your death cross was nailed in the coffin there. Now, the golden cross, this was a death cross here. February, that actually predicted pandemic. That's interesting. And then less than a month later, you saw, but that's wild. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, no, this is golden. Excuse me. This was a golden cross. My bad. That was a death cross. Why am I getting confused here? Damn it. That's a golden cross. No, you need a golden cross, then the death cross, I think. So this is, yeah, coming up. Death cross, golden cross. Yeah. The thing is here, this was a death cross, I believe, right? Yeah, that was golden cross back there. And then you got your death cross. And then, okay, I guess getting in at 7,000 wasn't too bad, but you did correct another 50% into the end of the year. The thing, too, is let's map this out from death cross to bottom. This is April to December, so essentially 8 months until your bottom. Let's look at the peak in 2021 or whatever, or to the death cross in 22. And that got it, yeah, not bad. A little bit earlier that time. Well, later, you could argue, but, excuse me, from your first one there. And then here, let's take a look here. We're going to get our death cross potentially relatively soon. Bottom in August of 26, so, yeah. But the thing here is, like, you get out on the death cross or whatever. Say you get out on the death cross, you just buy back in at the next bull cross. You know what I mean? Like, let's see here. Let's look at their previous out. Perfect time. Or, yeah, this was like clockwork too. Perfect. Great time to get back in. January 23. Don't happen too often, guys. Thing two. And I mean, if you got out on that one, not a terrible play. You know, you could kind of set up a strategy with this. These long term, more of these long term strategies where you need more patience work a lot better. I'll tell you that much. I'm not saying the short ones don't work, but you know, that's the thing. Yeah, that was a death cross, and you did jump a little. Probably would be something like that, and just wait for the golden cross. I mean, you could. Let's see, that death cross you jumped. That one you did jump a little bit. You can, yeah, but yeah, just wait for the next golden cross. You know what I mean? And where are we now? Okay, so this is 2013. We could even test this. This one was different. Okay, yeah, that one was different. That was a death cross. Then you got a golden, and then you came. Here was a better one, July 2015. Yeah, the volatility, I wouldn't think you would get a golden cross that much quicker. It could be like that in some ways. I don't know, though. Could be like that. 2011, Death Cross, and gold, yeah. September, let's see, when did that peak out? June, yeah, very different situation there. Yeah, that was a very different market, I'll tell you that much. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I think the best thing to do here in I think the death cross is to view it as bearish, view it as potential year bear market until you see a golden cross that would try to, you know, mark that away or whatever. So yeah, and look at that combined with other things. Z crash, diamond hands, nice. Anyway, guys, smash the like button. Last but not least, if you guys are interested in trading, check out BYDFI is great. BloFin, great, 20% off your fees for life, non-KYC, right here, deposit bonus. And then TapBit, we're doing one, deposit 200, get 100. And there's these good deposits here, 20% off your fees for life. Check out TapBit, link down below, up to $3,300 bonus. So yeah, guys, I'll see you guys real soon.